Imagine Japan way back in the 700s. The emperor wasn't as powerful, and local lords started gaining control. These lords needed warriors to protect their lands, and that's how the samurai came to be. At first, samurai were archers on horseback, really good with bows and arrows and riding horses. These early warriors were like the first version of the famous samurai. As time went on, the samurai became more than just fighters. They also kept the peace and made sure things were fair. Fast forward to the 1100s, the samurai were the most important people in Japan. They weren't just hired warriors anymore, they were in charge. They created their own system of rules, kind of like kings and knights. Samurai lords had their own armies of loyal warriors, big pieces of land and lots of power. The emperor was still around, but the real power belonged to the shogun, the top military leader. The shogun ruled with the help of the samurai lords. This started the feudal era in Japan, a time when the samurai were the bosses. Samurai followed a strict set of rules called Bushido, which means the way of the warrior. This code was all about loyalty, honor, and bravery. A samurai had to be brave in battle, and always do the right thing. Being disloyal or cowardly was super shameful. Samurai kids were taught these values from a young age. Bushido taught them to be responsible and have self-control, shaping their lives both on and off the battlefield. Samurai were awesome warriors. They trained really hard to use all sorts of weapons. The most famous samurai weapon was the katana, a curved sword with one sharp side. They were also great with bows and arrows, swords and riding horses. Samurai armor changed over time, protecting them but also letting them move quickly in a fight. Samurai fought in many famous battles, showing off their bravery, smart plans, and fighting skills. From 1603 to 1867, the Tokugawa shogunate ruled, and that was when the samurai were at their most powerful. This time was peaceful and stable after many years of fighting. Without big wars, the samurai took on different jobs. They became like managers, running the country under the shogun. Many samurai went from being warriors to office workers, taking care of land, collecting taxes, and making sure people followed the rules. But they were still powerful and respected, making sure everyone listened to the shogun and keeping the peace. Section 6. Changing Times, the Beginning of the End. The long peace under the Tokugawa shogunate actually caused problems for the samurai. Without wars, their fighting skills weren't as important. Also, Japan was changing. Merchants became richer and more important, and new technology like guns appeared. These changes made things difficult for the traditional samurai way of life. A new era was coming. Section 7. Swords into plowshares, the end of an era. In the middle of the 1800s, Japan couldn't stay isolated anymore. Other countries made Japan start trading with them, which caused problems and changed the government. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration happened, and the emperor became powerful again. The samurai weren't special anymore and couldn't carry their swords around. This was the end of the samurai era. Section 8. The Samurai Legacy, Echoes of the Past. Even though the samurai are gone, people in Japan and around the world still remember them. The Bushido Code still affects Japanese culture today. Ideas like loyalty, honor, and self-discipline are still really important. The samurai were brave, disciplined, and dedicated to their code of honor. You can see their influence in Japanese art, writing, and ideas. The samurai may be gone, but they are not forgotten. Section 9. Samurai in Popular Culture, Myths and Reality. Samurai are still popular in movies, books, and video games, but it's important to know the real story, not just the legends. Samurai weren't always perfect warriors following the rules. They were regular people living in a certain time. Like everyone, they did good things and bad things. Their story is complicated and worth learning about.